Hi guys, this video is part of the YouTube Mommy Meetup talking about finances during January so we can all get a head start on the year and make 2016 very successful. So I wanted to talk about the common pitfalls that I see in other people as well as in myself of when it comes to not being able to save money. So the number one worst thing I see, and we were guilty of this for the longest time, is thinking that paying your credit card in full is the same as cash. And I'm going to try to show you. So let's say that in March, you charge $500. Might be more, might be less. Let's just make it easy. So that makes you a pretty decent person. You know, you're pretty decently happy. You can deal with that. So you get paid. And you pay your $500 to the credit card company and you're good. You are clever. There you go. You're happy. The credit card is paid. And let's say that that goes on for a couple of months, you know. So in April, you charge $500 and then you get paid, you pay your credit card bill. So you are even Steven. Ooh, but in May, you charge your normal $500. But, ooh, what if you have a dog bill or your car breaks down and you have to fix it? Now you owe the credit card company $700, but you only have $500 to pay. And that makes you a little bit sad. Oh, sad face. And let's say even worse in June. So you still owe the credit card company $200 in June. You do your typical $500 charging, but you lose your job. So not only do you have to pay for your expenses, but you have to pay. Let me say this. So when you're paying for your June credit card, that's actually stuff that you charged in May. So when you lose that paycheck, you're already a month behind. So we were always of this mindset that, oh, we pay our credit card off every month. And sad face. We pay our credit card off every month, so we are good. But then we realize, wait a second, if the paycheck just all of a sudden stops coming in, we're already a month behind. So we are starting out unemployment in the dumps, not even having an emergency fund. So that is the first thing. The second thing is that small things add up. I noticed this with my parents who are big fans of buying their coffee out. And I'm the nerd that I am. I told them if they brought me the receipts for a month, I would catalog them and kind of tell them where they're spending their money. And they were shocked to see how much money they were actually spending on like tiny little things that are $5 or less. Just little things like lattes. My parents don't smoke, but that's another one that I see people smoking, going out to eat just if you don't feel like cooking, or eating for not bringing like a lunch into work, little things like that. Side note, would drive me nuts when I was in college and working like minimum wage jobs, and it cost, I think I made about like $7 an hour, $6.50 an hour, something like that. And my coworkers all the time would go to the food court to get their lunch, and it drove me nuts because if only they knew that they were working an entire hour just to pay for their lunch at work. Silly, silly. Next thing I notice is people who want it all now. There's not this black hole that if you don't get this brand new car right this second, it's just going to go thrown into the black hole. You'll never see it again. We have all used cars and they work just fine, and that doesn't necessarily mean that for the rest of our lives we're going to be driving 10 to 15-year-old cars. It just means that right now we've decided that we'd rather spend our money elsewhere than on car payments. And then, you know, we own our cars outright. And that's not just dealing with cars, that's kind of a big example, but gosh, engagement rings, like iPhones. People lease the most ridiculous little things. Clothing. It's not saying that just because you can't have it now or that you prioritize your money to go somewhere else at the moment, that doesn't mean that you can never have these things like a nice house or a nice, I don't know, couch would be nice. We don't have a couch. We sold ours. The next thing is undervaluing ourselves. And I notice this a lot with women. And it's so sad that those of us who stay in these jobs that are well below our qualifications and well below what we should be getting paid, just because we think that that's where we should be. I don't know, just having this mindset of like, oh, well, I'm just a secretary, or I just do data entry or something like that. Those kind of things can actually be really high level thinking. And of course, hindsight is 2020. I don't realize this stuff until after I've left these jobs, that I was doing some really high level stuff and I was just a secretary or just a receptionist, but I was really doing things that was PR and marketing, and I wasn't getting paid as a PR or marketing professional. So, and then the last one I thought is not having a plan. Very simply, if the money just comes in and the money goes out and you don't know where it's going, it's hard to save money because you get to the end of the month and you just don't have anything left. You're lucky if you're a little bit ahead, and we're constantly every single month making a budget. And do we always stick to it? Absolutely not. But it's there, and we don't just spend money that we don't have because we have it written in the budget. We have these things. Now there are things that come up like, I don't know, car insurance. I don't remember to put into the budget, even though it's there every single year, same exact month, but I forget. And so the bill comes in the mail, and then I go back and we adjust the budget. But we at least at all times know where we are and where we're going, so we don't end up the month with absolutely nothing. And I want to tell you that, like, my giving this advice is that in the last 5 years, we have gone from being that living paycheck to paycheck where we're using our credit card to fund daily expenses and we're paying it off every month, but we had no savings, no nothing. If one of us had lost our job, we would have been in the toilet. And we are at the point today that we're about 6 to 7, 8 months away from paying off our mortgage. And we've only lived in this house for a little under 3 years. So we have a fully funded emergency fund, especially since my husband at the moment is the only one who's bringing in income. So we feel that it's necessary to have a much larger emergency fund because we don't have that, extra money to tide us over if he lost his job. So that is my advice. I'm coming from a place of love and not a place of critique, because pretty much everything I've talked about are mistakes that we made time and time again, and it's really hard to see that you're making the mistakes until, hindsight is 2020, but it's hard to see until you're kind of out of it. And to just get to the end of the month and why can I never save? I make a good salary. I don't have super expensive cars or a lot of living expenses. I don't live in an expensive area. Why can't I make money? And these are the kind of things I see my friends and family making. So hopefully this has helped you and will kind of make you look back at what you're doing financially and get you towards a path towards financial freedom. And that's the hope for us all, to have a better life for ourselves and for our children. So I will talk to you all later. I hope you enjoyed this and my little sticky notes, and I hope we can make you all a super happy smiley face. Bye, guys.